So my name is Mark Barton. I am from Colorado Springs, Colorado, originally from New York City. My wife and I, we're going to retire in the next few years, and we just started the process to see. When I grew up, I lived overseas in Israel, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to explore some different countries. I thought this tour was a lot more than I expected. I expected, a lot of bus time, a lot of cold sandwiches, in and out of different towns. And what we were really surprised about, the accommodations were, to me, 3 to 4 star. The food was incredible, and I think it gave us an amazing overview that if we could never do this by ourselves. It would have took us a month to cover what we did here in 4 or 5 days. We love the beach, but we kind of like Boquete. I think we'll come back around Christmas and hit 3 or 4 different places. But I can see between David and Boquete, and what we would do is probably rent for 6 months in one town and then go to another, and then 2, 3 years later, you find your happy place. I think compared to the States, the precautions are unbelievable. Back home in Colorado, nobody's wearing masks. So here, I really like the idea that they're over precautious. They check your temperature, clean your hands. So I was very, very impressed with the safety. I think it was amazing. I own a couple dealerships, and I know when people order cars, it's very hectic, but every time I had a question, I got an answer either from Jackie or from her daughter in Texas. So I would call up with crazy, silly questions like everybody does, and the daughter would call me back within an hour. And finally, I just said, let me do more research online, and I got the handle of it. But I think it was the most well-organized tour we've ever had. We went to Bora Bora for a couple of weeks, and it was very, very unorganized. And this was, from step one to here to leaving, food, everything, you couldn't ask for any more. And I think it's an absolute must-use, Panama Relocation Tours. And I have no dog in the fight, as we say in the States. But I think if you do the research and you let them do the legwork for you, once again, I think it's an amazing foundation. Now, you're not going to go to every place that everybody wants, but on the surface, you get enough in 1 week that just watch Jackie's videos. Saturday in my office, I do the question answer, and I just listen because all your questions will be answered by people all over the world. So just, we YouTube every Saturday morning, the people, let's say I'm moving to Pedicine, Coronado, and we just listened to all that, and we felt getting here, we were experts already, and we didn't even get off the plane yet. So we were telling other people what to expect because we did a lot of research. And I think if you bought the online guide before, I think you'd be 100% ahead of everybody else just reading that book or reading the online guide. I really want to thank, like any trip, it's about the people. And Ellen and Steve, I think they were amazing. I call them the Sonny and Cher. They laughed, they bantered, they really made that 6-hour bus ride really fun. They got the audience involved, the passengers had fun, but they were very, very knowledgeable. And I think without them, it wouldn't have been as fun. And I consider them now my friends, and we'll stay in touch. So that was a nice bonus that generally you don't get with tour guides.